good? You not tuning into Punch Drunk Boxing, a.k.a. Mr. Moo! Shot himself. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I pride myself to break things down unbiasedly, logically, and objectively. Yeah, I know I respect these modern-day warriors, modern-day gladiators, the one that put their life on the line for pure entertainment. But let's keep it real. We ain't keeping the shame energy. You know what I'm talking about? We're not keeping the shame energy. I ain't talking about the same. I'm talking about the shame. Now, we all know that Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney get heavily critiqued because they're boring. They get heavily criticized that they're pillow-fisted, right? But we don't keep the same energy with Dimitry Bivol. Now, if you look at the past 6 years, Shakur Stevenson had three stoppages. Devin Haney has 1 stoppage, and Dimitry Bivol got 1 stoppage. Yeah, why don't we criticize Dimitry Bivol like we criticize Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney? Now, look, some of y'all gonna be like, well, what is this? Is this some race? Oh, come on, please, Punch, don't be like these other channels and talk about race and make it. No. It's not that Shakur Stevenson is black and Devin Haney is black and Dimitry Bivol is white. No, none of that. Look, but it's about culture. The American toxic culture is the reason why we overly criticize Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney. I'm not saying that the criticism is not right, is not accurate, but we're not accurate with Dimitry Bivol. Why we're not accurate with Dimitry Bivol? You know why? Because just as much as the American culture, I'm talking about the American boxing culture, it's not the only that we're toxic amongst our own. We give the benefit of the doubt, and we overly give the benefit of the doubt to foreigner fighters. And that's what I've noticed. For example, if Devin Haney, we're thinking about Devin Haney versus Linares, right? Devin Haney, we think about, oh, yo, you remember when Linares made Devin Haney dance a salsa, right? When we see American fighters, whether they Latino, Americanized Latino, or African American fighters, when they get dropped, oh, they're exposed. Oh, look, they don't got a chin. Oh, he's exposed. Imagine if he fights this guy, then he can't beat this guy because, yo, he got dropped. Look at Edgar Berlanga, he got dropped. Forget about that. He knocked out 16 dudes in the first round. Nah, he's exposed. No, he's weak. No, he got no heart. No, he got no chin. No, he can't take it to the body. But even Artur Beterbiev, he got dropped twice. But we never talk about his chin. We never talk about Dimitry Bivol. And look, Dimitry Bivol versus Artur Beterbiev is a hell of a matchup. Light heavyweight, undisputed. This is not about trying to critique fighters like that. It's about we're not keeping the same energy. So if we're gonna shame certain fighters, why not shame the other fighter for that particular for the same reason we're assessing this other fighter? And like I said, I understand the American culture is a toxic culture. Like, we do not love our own. We always overly critiquing. We don't give it the benefit of the doubt. We don't care when they accomplish. Look at Shakur Stevenson became a 3-division world champion by beating Edgar de los Santos. But all we cared about was his performance that wasn't overwhelming. Now, look, ladies and gentlemen, look. I don't think that Dimitry Bivol is an overwhelming type of fighter, right? If you look at Dimitry Bivol and the fight before, the couple of fights before he fought Canelo Alvarez, it was underwhelming. It was what we call Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney. It was boring. It was a boring performance, right? The fight before last, not the last fight that he had a TKO, but the fight before last, it was kind of boring as well. You feel me? And but we all know that all these guys are highly technically sound, right? They all got good elite skills. Devin Haney got elite skills. Shakur Stevenson got elite skills, and Dimitry Bivol got elite skills. We know that. Now, we don't got to be a fan of fans don't have to be a fan, whether you're a fan of them or not. But we all know that they, as a boxing fan, we do know that they're highly technical, and you know they got their styles. I mean, not everybody gonna be Naoya Inoue. Not everybody gonna be Gervonta Tank Davis. Not everybody gonna be Terrence Bud Crawford. Not everybody go and look, Terrence Bud Crawford, he got criticized, right, for going the whole 12 round with Madrimov, right? We overly criticize amongst our own, but we give the benefit of the doubt to fighters that they go through the same adversity as an American fighters, but we give the benefit of the doubt. Look, Naoya Inoue, one of my favorite fighters, he got dropped by Louis Neri rose back up and then stop Luis Nery. So we saw the character of Naoya Inoue even when he go through adversity, right? We see him go through adversity versus Nonito Donaire as well, right? And we give Naoya Inoue, we still call him a monster, right? But the same American fighters, they can't go through that adversity. We be like, he exposed, right? And look, not everybody gonna be, again, like a knockout artist. Not everybody going to be Mike Tyson. I think what gets the boxing fans frustrated, for example, like Shakur Stevenson, is because, let's say Shakur Stevenson, look, there's some fights that is elite fights, like Shakur Stevenson versus Oscar Valdez. That's an elite fight. I'm not looking for Shakur Stevenson to actually knock out Oscar Valdez. Vice versa. It's elite versus elite. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be a competitive matchup. Just like Triple G versus Canelo Alvarez, that's elite versus elite, the best fighting the best. That's supposed to be a competitive matchup. You know what I'm saying? Just like how I predict that Bivol and Beterbiev is going to be, right? Just like we predicted that was a 50-50 fight between Bud Crawford and Earl Spence, but damn, Terrence Bud Crawford blew him out the water to the point where, damn, Terrence Bud Crawford could move 3 divisions up to fight Canelo Alvarez. That's how special it was, because he beat a pound for pound, a fellow pound for pound fighter quite like that, right? But we expect fighters, elite fighters that we deem elite, that when they get their in-between fights, their stay busy fights, their showcase fights, their tune-up, these opponents that's tailor-made for them to look good, that's when I believe that Shakur Stevenson get his criticism. Not necessarily even Devin Haney. Look at Devin Haney's resume. Devin Haney doesn't look like he even got in-between fights or tune-ups. Like he went from George Kambosos to Vasily Lomachenko to Regis Prograis to Ryan Garcia. You know, but let's say Dimitry Bivol, he's gotten his stay-busy fights. He's gotten his tune-ups. And he fights the same way or the same results as a guy like Shakur Stevenson. Yeah, winning every round, but and landing a lot of punches. Why we don't say that Dimitri Bivol is pillow fisted? Why we don't say that Dimitri Bivol is boring and pillow fisted like we shamed the other, like we shamed Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson? I don't really want to shame these guys, right? But if we do, we got to keep the same energy with other fighters. What is this? Because Dimitri Bivol, because saying that Dimitri Bivol is boring and pillow-fisted is not a lucrative narrative in the YTBC, meaning the YouTube boxing community. That's what it is. And I think maybe that's what it is in this community, because Dimitri Bivol, his results is just like Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney, but he don't get criticized like that. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, we say Devin, oh, look at Teofimo Lopez versus Jermaine Ortiz. Oh my God. But Vasily Lomachenko struggled with Jermaine Ortiz. As a matter of fact, that fight was more Jermaine Ortiz versus Vasily Lomachenko was closer than Teofimo Lopez and Vasily Lomachenko. But we give Lomachenko the benefit of the doubt. Oh man, yeah, he's come. You know, he had a layoff. He came from Ukraine and da. We always have this little feel sorry story for foreign fighters, and I love our foreign fighters. You already know we're a melting pot out here in America, but we don't give the American fighter the benefit of the doubt like that. Even when they accomplish, we don't give the benefit of the doubt like that. We don't stand behind our American fighters. We don't protect, we don't support American fighters like foreign fighters. I want to know why though. Like I said, we are toxic. If I ask you who is the American poster boy for boxing, it's even hard to choose, because we hate every fighter. We hate every fighter. We look at everybody else's numbers. We look at T.O.'s number, Devin's numbers, Shakur's numbers. We never looked at Artur Beterbiev's numbers. We never looked at Dimitri Bivol's numbers. How much you want to bet? Look how we looking at the numbers with Terrence Bud Crawford versus Masvidal, right? Oh, Alashiki lost $10 million. Oh, how many pay-per-view? How much you want to bet that nobody going to be talking about the numbers for Dimitri Bivol and Beterbiev? We ain't going to be looking for it. Because we're not trying to shame them on numbers, right? Hey, that's supposed to be one of the biggest fights in the sport of boxing. It should do like a Shakur, like a Bud Crawford and Earl Spence. We was asking for that fight, right? All I'm saying is, folks, let's keep the shame energy. If Shakur Stevenson is boring and pillow-fisted and Devin Haney is boring and pillow-fisted, Looking at Dimitry Bivol's body of work, and yes, he got some good opponents, just like Devin Haney got some good opponents in his resume, and just like Shakur Stevenson got good opponents in his resume. Let's keep that same energy. Why don't we say leading up to the Beterbiev fight, he's a boring fighter? Just because the fighters get dropped, just because they get chin checked, that's not the end of them. Let's see let's see their character. You know what I'm saying? People shouldn't get mad. I mean, people could get frustrated at Canelo Alvarez for not giving us the David Benavidez fight and him choosing to fight Edgar Berlanga. But let's not take away from Edgar Berlanga and his team for putting him in position to get the Canelo Alvarez fight. He's still undefeated, but if we look at the assessment of Edgar Berlanga, people talk like he lost like 3 fights already. And then we worry about why boxing has become a niche sport. We want to blame everything on promoters, but also we got to take accountability for it. We ish on all our fighters to the point where you got to understand that casuals, they get educated by us, the hardcore boxing fans. But if the hardcore boxing fans keep on saying that this person ain't ish, he hasn't done nothing, he can't sell, Shakur is boring, and he can't sell, and that T.O. he can't sell, and Devin Haney, man, he should have just retired, and Errol Spencer's done, and Bud is I don't know what he's going to do, and Gervonta Tank Davis' resume sucks, and then it sucks, and then Deontay Wilder, he's a heavyweight, he sucks, and Andy Ruiz is suck, and Gerald Miller's a PDG, and David Benavidez, I don't know what he's going to do, and everybody suck. David Benavidez won a whole 10 rounds moving up to the 175-pound division and be like, oh, man, he looks, hey, yo, he don't look like, I don't know if he's ready for Bivol and Beterbiev. He don't look special. But David Morrell just won 10 rounds as well, and we wasn't talking about David Morrell. Let's keep the same energy. Ain't nobody called David Morrell boring. Did anybody call David Morrell boring that fight? No. No. Why not? So let's keep that same energy. Is Shakur and Devin really that boring, or we want to hate on them? Or they're really that boring, or we want to pick and choose just to feed the narrative and feed the traffic? I say let's give the American fighter the benefit of the doubt. Let's give elite fighters the benefit of the doubt. How about that? Because those are the guys that are going to drive the sport anyway. Let me know what y'all think, man. Subscribe to the channel. Smash the like button. Love you. God bless. And on to the next.